Okay, is everybody finished arting? Hey, folks. Hope you. Oh, Skype. I'm not putting up. Oh, for fuck's sake! I just have to get. I have to put up all those hearts. I had to
Yay!
because it wouldn't go away, and it kept. It kept moving the subs over. Um, hey, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us this evening here on the D8 Dungeon Twitch. I hope you have had a good day, or if your day is just starting, I hope you have a good day. I am Declan. I am your DM, and I am joined this evening by Kat, Eilish, Richard, but we are sans Emma. So Emma, if you're watching this on VOD, I'm so sorry for what's about to happen to your character. Uh,
Oh.
no, Emma is unfortunately prior engaged, so isn't able to join us this evening. If you are just joining us, then good news. This is just the second episode of our brand new campaign, Beyond Horizon's Edge. Hopefully, if you're in chat and you can hear us, there isn't an echo. If there is, or are there any audio issues, please let me know so that I can throw my Mac out the window. Um, but I think everything should be good. We did a couple of tests beforehand, so hopefully audio is okay and you're not dealing with an echo. Thanks, RombiX. Much appreciated. Before we dive into our the next chapter, and chapter 2 is called I was about to go the rattling bog. This is your fault, Eilish. Chapter 2 is not the rattling bog. Chapter 2 is the hole in the bog, which I intentionally picked for the purposes of driving the players mad by them singing the rattling bog, but it has
Ready.
it has backfired.
Backfired spectacular.
Bog hole. You're going to be fighting a bog hole in this episode.
Oh, Christ.
Note that down. Bog hole witch. Got it. Next campaign idea. Before we dive into that, just a couple of quick announcements. And if you are in chat, we it always makes the session that little bit more lively if you join in. We don't have bits set up yet for the Twitch stream. We are working on that. But eventually you'll be able to mess with the story a little bit more as well. But I am open. I am always open to chat suggestions and your comments towards antagonizing the players / furthering the story. Mostly furthering the story / antagonizing the players. So top of the order. In case you missed the final episode of season 1 of Random DMs, we made a little announcement that we have a new partnership, and we are working with the wonderful folks over at Mystery Dice Goblin. And if you use the code D8 at the checkout, you get 15% off your order. And Mystery Dice Goblin have these wonderful little again, people were slacking me off last week. It took me a week to put all my dice away, just letting you know. Like, that took a long time because I decided to reorganize them and then give them all
These
a
are
bit of a wash.
Minnie's dice. These are just for her.
Well,
Hey,
I
Iris.
given the
And the ones I'm
tree in
using.
the seed and the seed in the hole and the hole in the bog and the bog down in the yes, it's infecting chat too. Our Mystery Dice Goblin are the premier D&D Dice UK shop, and they stock lots of wonderful dice and TTRPG accessories. I have ordered a mystery box, which comes with 2 mystery enamel pins and 2 dice of mystery dice. So I am very much looking forward to seeing what those turn out to be. If you use the code D8, you get 15% off your order, and we get a portion of those sales as well. So by buying dice, you help us, and we use that money to pay artists for amazing artwork. We use it to attend events, and we are actually going to be looking for a little bit of support around some new equipment we need to pick up for Romancing the Dungeon. But more on that a little bit later. I do want to very quickly, again, there's a few things to kind of go through. And then I'll let the chat, maybe y'all have something to say or announce yourselves. But the other thing to mention is over on our Discord server, tomorrow we will be announcing details on our annual Christmas exchange, or Xmas exchange, if you follow Romancing the Dungeon, where members of our Discord server get together and totally voluntarily and we sign up for a Secret Santa exchange. And details will be opening tomorrow if you want to get involved. Homemade gifts, vouchers, donations to charity. Over the last 2 years, we've seen people do some really, really cool and cute things as well. So, and there's zero pressure, but we are opening those tomorrow if you do want to get involved. I want to quickly mention the latest episode of Romancing the Dungeon. Episode 47 dropped on Friday. And on Friday, hey folks from Emerald Collective, hope you're all doing very, very well. I think, are you off tonight? Ivy streams on a Monday. On what was I saying? Oh, Romancing the Dungeon. Yeah. On Romancing the Dungeon, we've just released episode 47. Episode 48, 49, and the finale, episode 50, will be out just in time for Christmas. So, I mean, my Christmas gift is always making people cry. So that's my gift to the world. Like, so I plan on, yeah, I'm excited. I'm in the middle of editing it at the moment, and it's spicy.
Oh no.
Yeah. But in a good spicy. It's good spicy. It's good, fun, wholesome, emotional,
He's lying to
Hallmark
you.
spicy.
He's lying to you so much.
So there's the thing.
I was there.
But beyond that, we are going to be, again, if you are interested, we are currently in the process of casting for the next season of Random DMs. So if you are a DM who maybe wants to play a little bit, or a player who wants to dabble as a DM a little bit, get in touch with us, d8dungeon@gmail.com, and we will send you on some details on how you might get involved if you'd like to. Totally fun show. The next, it's always pre-established content, so we're going to be looking at adventures that are already out there and letting people have a stab at all these different DM styles as well as our player styles. So you are more than welcome to apply for that if you wish. I think that's everything. Did I miss anything?
Nope.
No. That's all the bits and pieces. Okay. Also, I guess to mention, we will be attending AdventureCon in February, and I am running 3 games that weekend. I don't know if there's any information on panels yet. I'm hoping to run 1 or 2 panels too. If there's anybody from AdventureCon in the chat, you can let me know. That would be great. But we will be there in February, and we'll have a stall, and there will be merch, and there will be a chance to record things for the podcast, and a certain kobold may have a lucky dip bag there that you may be able to partake in for charity. So if you never know. There's the thing. Okay, unless Kat, Richard, Eilish, anything y'all want to share before we jump into this? You just want to play D&D?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man. Okay. Then let's start playing D&D.
Hooray!
However,
Yay.
how does one do that?
What's a D and D?
D and D. I was going to make a joke there about the D, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm just not going to say it. I censored myself, and then I said what I was going to say, so kind of defeated the point of it. Yeah. Okay. It's the day after all of the commotion, and there's been sort of an ennui the last few months in Summer's Keep, and for Mooney, Diara, Redmond, and Annam, you've kind of grown accustomed to it. There's a whether you've checked out or it's that sense of complacency and the norm and routine. For each of you, it might be very, very different. But yesterday, and following the arrival of 4 new recruits to the guild, taken in under by your guildmaster Byron, things have been a little bit busier. Things have been a little bit more manic. And the post from Diara and Redmond's sojourn into the village brought with it not only kind of like your missives from the continents and news from some of Byron's old contacts, but a couple of postings from locals here on the island of Inishdarug looking for Byron and his team, his associates, his apprentices, his adventurers, to get involved and to help. And of those, he selected one for the new recruits. A core or a group of bandits have been ferrying up the Field River and snatching a local farmer's geese and ducks, and seeing that sort of Jesus, like it's a couple of people robbing some geese. It's not, it's not the, not the end of the world type stuff, and the sort of disappointment or the lack of interest from the four of you. He has requested that the new recruits take it on to find out just who these foul. I give myself inspiration. These foul thieves are, and I'm going to make up what you're saying in my head. Probably better than what I'm saying right now, so don't worry about it. And with that, you were all kind of left to your own devices for the evening. Eileen having returned with some of the groceries, Regimond and Diara with the rest. Though a very smug Bernard Wall lingered a little longer around the hall and the yard of Summer's Keep on the hill, looking and searching for Diara, waiting for Diara. No sign of the tiefling could be located. As you headed to your rooms, Annam, you paid notice that Byron asked Regiment to linger behind a little bit, only to be informed a few moments later. You're not sure if it's annoyance or he's genuinely kind of looking forward to it. Heads up, gang, the Twitch have you on the front page under recommended D&T channels. Oh, that's...
Oh my gosh!
That's mad.
This is my character. Look at her while you're here.
Oh.
Beautiful.
I'm Adam. That's awesome.
my
Thanks so much
gosh.
for letting us know, Emerald Collective, Dave. That's mad. And if anybody wants to screenshot that for me and send it to me so that I can show my mom, look, I am doing things.
I'm famous on the internet.
You're not quite sure, Annam, whether Reggie is annoyed at the prospect of having to like chaperone the new recruits, or if it's the early start in the morning that Byron set him to head out with the recruits. But the night passes on, and with all the grace and decorum that Regiment can muster, Annam, you are roused from your sleep a little after 4 a.m. With him banging into lockers, knocking over a tin bowl full of your basin full of water to wash your face in the morning. The ruckus he makes putting his boots on, clattering the dry mud off of them, fixing his belt, only to be kind of like smiled at with these very, very sleepy eyes as he heads out the door, making a point to... he's not slamming it, he's banging it, and that's the way Regiment will continue for the rest of his life to argue, that he never slams the door, he just bangs them loudly. Mooney and Diara, Anima, you have no choice on this, but Mooney and Diara, give me Constitution saving throws.
Oh no, Jesus.
Right off the bat. Come on, man.
He poisoned us all on the way out.
That's what he calls banging the doors, poisoning people.
Oh no, what's a 5?
13.
Mooney, you are woken from your slumber.
Ugh.
Diara, no one bangs the door like Eileen Sapras. So, no, you're training. You're only a trainee. Thank you for the screenshot, Emerald Clock today.
Trainee slammer.
But Annam and Mooney, for your first 3 rolls this morning, they will be at disadvantage. You still have all the benefits of your long rests and all that, but you are, it's that thing of you will not get back to sleep now. Your brain is awake; it is alert. What, Adam? What are you doing at this moment? It's still dark out. You can hear out in the yard. You can hear the recruits and Regiment giving them a bit of lip for their over enthusiasm to take on such a shite job, as he puts it himself.
I don't even know if Adam's shocked. I mean, he's very used to sharing a room with and being woken up by Reggie anyway. It's just a different form. So there's probably just a half hour where he desperately tries to get back to sleep before getting up and beginning his normal morning routine in defeat.
Okay. Kind of just that. So you just kind of maybe lie there and just like kind of take in that last 30 minutes. Even if you can't get back to sleep, it's well, I'm not getting up. It's 4:30. I can look perfect. Okay. Mooney, what are you up to?
Minnie thinks that now she has woken up, it is now time to wake up. She hasn't realized that it was Regiment that woke her up in the middle of the night. She was just like, oh, I'm awake. Morning time. So is it still like the dead of night?
It's pitch black outside.
She's going to get dressed and go outside.
It's you get up, you gather your belongings, you're wondering why Diara hasn't roused from sleep. But maybe it's that thing of you can get a start on the day, Mooney, before everybody else. And we are drawing into the circle of autumn and the those late evenings, like dark mornings and dark evenings are sort of. Yeah, that kind of explains why it's so dark now, because we're in autumn, and sure, it's always dark first thing when you wake up in the morning. It is, there is sort of a very dry cold hanging on the air as you head outside. You don't hear any sounds coming from anywhere else in the guild hall. There's no sign, or you don't smell any cooking coming from the kitchen. You don't see Byron anywhere. And you can just hear briefly in the distance, some way down the hill, Regiment kind of giving out to the recruits. It is you in the yard under a sort of waning night sky filled with sort of sleeping stars.
Minnie's going to look up at the stars. She's going to wonder when the sun's going to come up, and she's going to go back into the guild hall, sit down at the benches and wait for breakfast.
Okay.
Patiently.
You kind of like, it's that thing you take in the morning air, kind of like looking across the horizon for any sign of a rising sun, and without much hesitation, you slip back into the guild hall, kind of the cold settling a little bit on you, and as you move back in, you kind of feel the warmth of it again. And there is the hearth here in the common room, just off the main chamber and near the kind of the dining room and the kitchens. You can just see kind of the glowing red embers of a fire, and you kind of have the space here in Summer's Keep to yourself. You like Diara doesn't snore, but she does move quite a bit in her sleep, and you kind of have the privacy of this space yourself. And it's the common room, like it's a lot of long couches and armchairs and heavy cushions and rugs and throws, smattering of tables. There are no books. Anywhere. They are all in their place. The book prison across the other side of the hall, with the door firmly locked, the key on your person. You have the common room all to yourself. There's still no sound of any cooking, and there's definitely no smells of cooking coming from the kitchen.
Mooney's gonna like lean over a little bit and see if she can see into the kitchen. I think it's awfully strange that it's the morning, but no one is making anything. And she'll just like go back to her spot and then
Give me
maybe just
sorry, yeah, go on.
take her little book out, still not looking away from the kitchen, and just slowly open it, patiently waiting for someone to feed her. Because
Give
it's
me a-
morning.
Give me a perception check. And again, at disadvantage.
Oh no. Perception. 1. Oh no! 6.
It's that thing there where you lean over and you think you see something, but you didn't. There's that, and if you did, it was probably Eileen. She's like a shadow when it comes to cooking. She's barely there. She barely uses a saucepan. It's Diara who always makes the mess. And you kind of lean over. You don't hear anything. You don't see anything. You go back to your book, and then you just feel sort of the rumbling in your stomach from hunger. It's that sort of thing as you are now kind of expecting breakfast. While you might not be ravenous, you are definitely feeling that thing of like, I'd like at least a butter roll. But again, there's nary a smell of a pot of tea boiling.
What a weird morning.
Okay. If you
She's gonna wait.
You're just gonna sit and wait.
She's gonna wait.
It is kind of you tick the rest of the morning away, kind of just flicking through your book and kind of looking through the margins and notes that you have made and stuff like that. And Annam, it's much of the same for you, sort of just lying there. You know how early it is. You know what time regiment was to get the recruits up and out, and on the road towards the River Feel. You heard a little bit commotion out in the hallway. It sounded like Mooney, or it definitely came from Mooney and Dyer's room, but you're not 100% certain. And ever since then, it is that thing of you've just been sort of lying there, and you can just hear sort of the floorboards groan, and the walls just almost like whisper. And there is just a quietness and a stillness that you haven't heard in this room in a long, long time.
I hate it. I think Annam is just going to have to get up, driven a little mad by the silence, and throw his door open and just knock on Diara in Mooney's room.
What?
I am feeling a little lost without the sound of snoring, and I cannot sleep.
Is he dead?
No, he actually got up and went to do his job. I am in shock.
Diara immediately jumps out of bed. What's wrong? What happened?
No.
What do you mean? What do you?
He
What?
woke up before sunrise on purpose and
No,
did what Byron asked him to do.
Adam, that doesn't happen.
It doesn't make sense, I agree.
Is he possessed?
It's thrown my whole routine into... I have not had a full 4 hours sleep.
What time is it?
Breakfast time. Come.
She just looks at her PJs and is like, "Give me a sec,"
Oh, wait.
and slams the door.
Adam didn't even move, just waits there staring at the door.
She just scrambles to get ready, and then comes back out and leaves the door open and is just like, "I don't smell breakfast."
Give me a perception check at disadvantage, Annam.
Perception?
Yes, please.
Ooh, 7. And the other one was a nat 20.
Ah!
You hate to see it. You take a whiff, and all you get is just that stale smell of mothballs that lingers. Kind of it. The working theory is that it's coming from Byron's room. Nobody can quite trace it, but it is, and it is sort of mentholy as well. Like it's not just your average. This is going to keep the moths away. It's kind of got that sort of mentholy vapor eucalyptus aspect to it as well, and that kind of gets kind of stuck at the back of your nose. You do not smell breakfast, and if you do, it smells medicinal-ish.
What is that?
I don't know, but I hope it's not breakfast. Let's go find out what's going on.
Yeah, Diara heads downstairs. Where's Mooney?
I assumed up already.
Surely I would have heard her.
Someone has been vaping. Damn it, Reggie! Stop spending all your gold on vapes.
Rolling.
As the pair of you head downstairs, and you kind of come into that main kind of foyer and the kind of the desk, the large open doors on your left, Anam and Daira, you see Mooney set there cross-legged, like sort of like in the middle of the floor, I would imagine, with kind of pillows and throws all around them, but none of them are kind of, well, what is Mooney doing, Kat?
Mooney's literally just sitting like straight backed at the table, as if anyone would for breakfast, just literally
Okay.
just waiting there to be served.
Fork and imaginary fork and knife in hand. Yeah, you see Mooney at the far end of one of the long tables, just off the common room in the dining room, sort of sat there expectantly.
What are you doing?
Moni?
Yeah.
Oh. Perhaps we could make our own breakfast if Eileen is not available.
But she's always here with breakfast ready in the morning. And it's not here.
What is
I
happening?
don't know, I just got up. It's the morning.
Diara looks outside.
It's the sky.
It's almost morning.
Yeah, it's the sky is still dark, but you can just start to see a faint glow of a rising sun.
Normally when it looks like that, I am a lot drunker. Where is everybody?
I don't know. I just sort of like woke up. And, you know, as you do in the morning, and I just came down to see where everyone is and no one else is here. I saw Regiment outside, but he was away off somewhere and I didn't want to bother him, to be perfectly honest. So I just came back in here to wait for my breakfast, but breakfast hasn't come and I've been down here for so long.
In his tired state, Reggie has taken Eileen as an adventurer.
He's gonna cook for us,
Poor
though.
Reggie.
We can cook.
No, I can't, though. I really can't.
What
No,
is
you
worse?
can't, though. You really can't.
Oh,
Well, I'll cook for myself and Anam then.
Can I have a wee bit? Like a little tiny bit.
Tell me I'm a good cook.
Well. You're a good cook. If you feed me.
Okay. I
Thank
can do
you.
that.
I'm so
I'm
hungry.
gonna see what's in the fridge? Question mark?
The cold.
Any
the cold
leftovers?
room. Give me a investigation check, because you're
Ooh, I'm
specifically looking for bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces. Oh wait. I'm good at intimidating.
Ah,
Oh, no,
close
I'm
to
good.
investigation.
I'm good at investigation as well.
Could someone clip that?
24.
24. Oh, God.
24.
It's like you pay attention to Eileen when she tells you things in the kitchen.
Sometimes. If it involves food, yes.
You spot a couple of things there. The first is there is no sign of Eileen. The back door is closed. The only time the back door
So she wasn't taken in the hole.
the back door is only ever closed when it's raining, or when she would have been looking to give any of the four of you Batons, and that was your escape route.
Looks over her shoulder just in case.
The wooden spoon is missing. The wooden spoon is missing. I repeat, the wooden spoon is.
Flashbacks.
You don't see her. You don't see her coat hanging up on its usual hook. You don't see any of the bags that she would bring with her. And it might be just that she's late, possibly, maybe. You can't recall a time Eileen was late, ever, like ever. So maybe if there's a first in Reggie getting up when asked to do so and going on a job when asked to do so, without provocation from everybody else. Maybe it's a first, possibly maybe, that Eileen is in fact late for the first time in the history of time existing. But here you are in the kitchen, and Eileen and her tardiness to one side, you begin rummaging, and you move into the small cold room just off the main kitchen, hesitant to attempt to actually bring anything to a boil for fear of incurring Eileen's inevitable, if slightly delayed, wrath. You find a couple of plates of leftover food from last night, cold slices of potato, fried, some strips of steak that were sitting in a parsnip root sauce, and there are some bread rolls. They're from yesterday. They're not as fresh as had Eileen made them first thing this morning. And there is a selection of cheeses and other kinds of like cured meats and stuff like that as well that you can arrange. But with a 24, you clock there's a small window that leads to the cold room, just kind of high up towards the edge of the ceiling almost, letting in just a little bit of light for Byron's late night, midnight runs to the kitchen for whatever he has feeling a peckish for. You notice a couple of prints, like tiny little animal prints.
Do I know what kind of animal print?
Give me a nature check.
Actually, no, she won't. Mooney, come here.
When he pokes her head in.
What are those?
That's a bunch of cheese.
No, on the window.
Glass.
The prints, Mooney.
When he comes in closer and looks at the prints, does she recognize them?
So, give me a nature check, Mooney.
I'm proficient in that. Hey. Oh, it's with disadvantage.
It is.
Why?
Sleepy.
Oh, for God's sake. That is a 12.
Okay. So, it's either a forest line that's broken in, or some sort of creature on 4 legs, and you are immediately able to rule out pigs and sheep. Definitely no sign of a sheep bandit. Also not a boar, possibly a polecat or some form of badger, maybe?
So they're like paw
Yes.
prints.
Oh yeah, not
as
hand
opposed to,
prints and shoe prints. No, they're small little paw prints.
Well, it could belong to anything. They could be sheep print. Well, no, actually, they're definitely not sheep prints. But they could be cats or badgers or cougars or wolves. But they're friend shaped. So they're all going to be friends.
French
Yeah.
shaped. Okay. Well,
Where do they lead to?
This is what
Should
we're
we go
having for
see
dinner.
where they lead to? Maybe this is what took Eileen away.
Oh wait, yeah. Are they going in or out of the?
So there's a track of them coming in and a track of them coming out. The prints are scurrying across the top of a long shelf, and you do see a very noticeable hole, Mooney and Diara, in a bag of dried berries that Eileen would have used for tea or for decorating.
Do the prints look fresh?
As you,
Fresh prints?
they like as you can
fresh prints of nuts.
as you kind of get closer a little bit, you can smell kind of you can smell the earth they're not dried in, and even kind of touching them, they're still a little wet. Maybe.
Ooh, do I have anything that might help? Anything that might help?
Where is the bag? On a high shelf.
Yes, on a very high shelf.
Diara's gonna reach for it and just shake.
A couple of a couple of clusters of berries in these little net bags spill out.
No animal noises.
Uh,
I think it's gone.
do they lead to like a back door?
No,
No,
the window.
The window.
Window. How high's the window? Can Minnie peek out of it?
It is about 8-9 feet up.
Oh no, I'm only 7 feet.
Like, give Mooney a boost.
Yay, I get a boost from Annam.
Lifting her up a little bit, because it doesn't have to be too high. You're able to boost. You peer out the window. You don't see. You are looking directly out into the backyard of the guild, Mooney, and this is kind of, it leads to the training area. It leads to the fields beyond, and some of the farm that comes with the territory. You can't make out any sign of a creature out in the yard, and you can't see any prints from this distance.
Oh no, whatever friend left those prints are long gone now. Can I stay up here, Annam? I've always wondered what it was
Sure,
like
why
to be
not?
tall.
I will hold you 1 more minute.
Yeah.
You
Diara's gonna just take the food she found out and sit down and
Okay.
eat.
Annan turns to talk to Tiara and then is like, just left holding Mooney. Like,
I made breakfast.
gently set Mooney down.
Yay.
Why don't we go hunt for our breakfast?
Why you Diara just made breakfast there now? Why don't we just eat this stuff? I'm sure it's not that bad.
Tiara only made for Tiara.
Oh, that's right. Oh.
I brought it all out. You guys can eat some.
Then we can go hunting.
For who?
I don't know, like bandits or something, bad people.
Berries, rabbits. I don't want to eat the bandit.
No, but I don't want to eat a friend either.
That's fair.
Why don't we go kill a bandit? We don't have to eat him.
Deal?
Then he shakes his hand.
Breakfast.
Why don't we murder? We don't have to commit to cannibalism.
Unless.
But wait, yeah, kind of Mooney and Adam. A few moments pass as you follow out behind Diara, who has kind of on her way out grabbed a couple of plates and a couple of cups, and is kind of balancing the tray of food on one arm and the cutlery and the delf in the other, and has laid out a small little spread for the three of you. And it is that thing of you are pondering somebody. What a great time to pop in. Yes, let's discuss murder or cannibalism, which is worse. Is it truly a crime if you don't waste the body? The morning kind of, well, the early morning passes with the three of you kind of discussing the absolutely preposterous notion that Redmond was up early and Eileen was late. But most of the conversation dwells around the pantry intruder, the four-legged critter that possibly broke in and robbed some supplies from Eileen's storeroom. Outside, and even through the heavy burgundy curtains that drape the windows here in the dining hall, you can start to see that the sky outside is brightening, but there is a sort of a dull grey hanging in the clouds. And as sort of the island of Inishtarug and the village of Canuck begins to ready itself for the day, there is still no sign of Eileen, but Byron has sort of stumbled down with a big yawn.
Morning. You feeling better?
Heaps. Whatever, whatever was in that tea you gave me, really just cleared me out.
Yeah, you're welcome. Don't. No.
Let's see. Byron, where is Eileen?
She's retired.
No, but like,
She's been retired for 7 years.
Hang on. Ali!
No.
She's
She's not here.
You have to do it a certain way. Ali!
Look, her coat's not here. Her bag's not here. The door is closed. None of us have red arses. She's not here.
If she's not here, lads, that means...
This is breakfast.
Reggie got up early. Eileen is late. It's opposite day.
He reaches for the back of a chair to steady himself.
The other made it.
What's wrong? I mean, it's Diara cooked it, I know, but it's not that bad.
I didn't cook it. I found it in the fridge.
So it's like
thing.
a breakfast starter kit. You just need to assemble it yourself.
He looks a little shaken. He doesn't know what to process, that Eileen isn't here, that Reggie actually did what he was supposed to do, that Diara made breakfast, even if it is a DIY job. Does that even count?
Yes.
But yeah, he does look like the color kind of drains from him a little bit, but he kind of saunters over to the table and he kind of plonks himself down next to you, Annam. Are you? And he's reaching across and he's taking a bread roll, and he opens it up. Are the three of you busy today? And he's grabbing meat off the thing and he's putting it into the roll. There's a fair amount of work now that needs to be done, lads, around, and he's taking a bite of it, around the summer creep. So, Dara, I'm going to need you to muck out there's a couple of bits and pieces in the back that needs to be just cleared the hell out. And Annam, those swords need sharpened. Excuse me. Whatever that was, Dara. Better out than in. better out than in. Good breakfast there. Amoni. Good job.
Yes!
She didn't even do anything.
Oh yeah. No. Now I remember. There's all them books need sorting. The ones, and he kind of he looks around over by the desk. They came in there from the general store there. There's a bit of a shipment, so you sort them out there now. And there's a bit of paperwork that you need to be looking at there as well. All right? Okay.
Can me and Adam swap? Can I shop in the weaponry?
Oh, yeah, you can, yeah. Right. Two more of these, Diara, and he kind of gestures at the butter rolls and, like, kind of looks at you expectantly.
Money.
No.
Why?
To sharpen sword.
I
Do you know how to sharpen sword?
no, but I could try my best. They're pretty sharp. Maybe he won't notice. I mean, fine. I'll do the books.
I mean, you can help
I
me
don't want to
clean.
do that though. I
don't
want to
wanna
go
do it
find the
either.
little thing that was in the berries. But fine, I'll do the books. The mean
We'll
books.
pack swords, we'll pack books, we'll pack whatever is in the back room. We'll organize it on the way.
We'll pack
Yeah,
lunch.
go eat.
No. This is for lunch too. It's
You
brunch.
see that having not made his next breakfast roll, Byron has taken one of the butter rolls, opened it, jammed a load of the meat and cheese and stuff into it, opened a second butter roll and is now fitting the first one into the second one.
Seems like a pretty good strategy.
Oh, he's taking a bite out of it. Like, he's not. This is not lunch. This is breakfast. He's.
Okay.
Would you put on a pot of tea as well?
Yeah, we'll do it on the way out.
But Eileen always has the tea ready now.
Well, I just woke up.
Well, I just want a cup of tea.
Well, you know where the kettle is.
I do, but I don't know how to use it.
Well, neither do I.
Then we will all have an adventure today. Good luck. And Anna just pushes away from the table.
Diara grabs some more cheese and a bread, whatever, if there's a bread roll left after Byron's monstrosity, and does a Byron and shoves it all in and is eating it. As
Yeah, he was, as you were taking that other one, he was reaching for like a fourth butter roll, and you have to kind of wrestle it out of his hands. He has a clump of it, and he's just nibbling on it now.
Okay, bye. Don't set the place on fire.
I will roll for Byron's cup of tea. Mooney, you're going to go deal with the books?
Mooney's gonna go and grab the main books. And she's gonna go to the book jail. And she's gonna start to sort them out. Yes. Anything interesting?
Okay, so we'll work our way around on this. So, let me, and I'm stealing this slightly from one of the DMs, from random DMs, Dahi, who introduced us to this way of running a scenario on skill checks. I hope I am not going to completely and totally get it wrong.
Dahi's in the chat.
Dahi.
Oh, I'm so nervous. So Dahi, if I get it wrong, you have to let me know if I get it wrong.
Correct him, Dahi. Don't be afraid. He can't punish you anymore.
So, okay, what you're going to be doing. What you're going to need to do is you're all going to be, over the next kind of couple of hours, dealing with the tasks that Byron has set you. Mooney, you are looking to organize some books and then maybe do a bit of searching through the mail and the posts that he has gotten. Diara, you are trying to organize lunch and clean and organize some of the stock and pantry. And Annam, you are kind of taking care of the training yard. There was a bit of damage done to it yesterday. How did that happen? That's anybody's guess. As well as take care of some of the weapons and armor. So, don't worry, it's pre-stolen from one of my... See, it's just the circle of DMing.
Circle of death.
So, I am going to need the three of you to make a skill check. And you can... Now, it can be any form of check. It can be it can be if you want to use a spell or a feat or some ability that your character has to help you in the task. And the catch is you all can't use the same one. So, and once it's used, it's off the marker. Now, again, as a reminder, like they're all guffawing and all like, oh no, they're also all level 10. So this isn't going to be like impossible. And your first DC check is 13. You are looking to roll and beat a 13. So, can you let me know, Diara, what skill are you? And I'm going to start with Diara. We'll do Diara, Annam, and then Mooney. And for our second skill, because there will be a second one, we will work backwards. So we will go Mooney, Annam, and then Diara. So, Diara, your first task is sort of cleaning up after breakfast and kind of getting the kitchen and stuff ready as you deal with Byron in the kitchen. Who, had he, for the record, I rolled for him and his cup of tea that he was boiling. Had he failed, you would be making the skill check at disadvantage. But through some sheer miracle, he has managed to get a 19 plus 2, giving him a 21. He has successfully made a pot of tea. And it is, but it's that good cup of tea. Do you know the one that you occasionally make for yourself? It's a very rare gem. That it is the perfect temperature, the perfect ratio of milk or non-dairy alternative, and the perfect amount of sugar It is a golden cup of tea.
I'm gonna roll a stealth check to steal it.
So your first skill check. Okay, you're gonna steal Byron's cup of tea.
Just be like, oh yeah, that looks good. Give me that.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
14. Thank God for
Okay.
plus 10.
So you got a 14 on your stealth check. Okay, you beat the DC. Annam, are you organizing the yard first, or are you sharpening the weapons?
I'll sharpen the weapons first. I have conflicted feelings on that because I'm not sure that the recruits deserve sharp weapons just yet. But Byron asked, so I am going to roll with disadvantage because I'm very sleepy.
Yes.
But I will go for athletics because in my tired state, I'm just thumping those swords.
Okay. Sugar in tea is blasphemy. Get out of here.
Nope,
Ooh,
facts.
dirty 20.
Oh, a dirty 20. Ooh, with
Damn.
disadvantage. Nifty. Okay, and Mooney, are you snooping through the mail, or are you dealing with the books first?
What was I doing? Doing what?
Snooping through the mail or organizing the books in the library?
Oh, I'm going to grab the new books on my way to the library. Also got to grab the mail because that probably needs sorted.
It does.
And then I'm going to, for my skill, cast Mage Hand to help me carry everything
Okay.
and sort of help me multitask a wee bit.
I gotcha. So with the Mage Hand spell, and I'm just going to make that down, you can give me because there's no skill check with Mage Hand, it's a cantrip, it just happens. But you can give me you can just use your proficiency bonus plus a roll of a d20, or you could go with your Arcana if you wanted to.
Oh, Arcana.
Okay.
Will that still be a disadvantage? That'll be my third roll of the morning.
Well, I tell you what, because you have done Mage Hand, and you're combining Mage Hand with your Arcana, I will use that to cancel out the disadvantage. Because let's face it, the Spectral Phantasmal Hand is doing most of the heavy lifting here.
Yes. 18.
Okay. So, the morning goes without incident, though Byron will be forever confused because he did make a sterling pot of tea. He even did that sort of sommelier thing where he poured a little bit, tasted it. So he remembers, he remembers the taste of the tannins on the tip of his tongue. And he turns around for a split second to find his favourite cup that Eileen keeps on a special shelf that no one knows about. And he sees you come in, Diara, and as he's reaching up, he kind of turns back. You're gone. And the teapot is gone, and he's very perplexed. And that's kind of how you go about that initial task in the morning. It's not that you are organized. You are literally, you're taking like the cutting knife that you use to cut the cheese and stuff like that, and you're shoving it into a drawer that it shouldn't probably go in. You are literally, you're doing that thing when guests are coming over and you've forgotten to clean, and you're just shoving stuff into random drawers and presses.
Yeah, just
But you're doing it really, you're doing it so well that Byron doesn't even know you're around him. Like, he moves in to check something, you slip in and you dump a load of stuff into the press. And, like, at one stage, a bag just a drawer full of bags just sort of spills out. And you grab a couple of crumbs, you grab a tea cozy, you jam it all in. And yeah, it's...
oh, I'm getting such a
You're
baiting from
getting a
Eileen.
massive bait fighting when she finds out. Over in the yard, Annam, it is that thing of the tiredness is seeping into your bones. The breakfast was fine, but I mean it was cold and it wasn't made by Eileen. And as appreciative you are of Diara's efforts, you really would kind of have fancied at least a hot cup of tea, even some rolled oats. But nevertheless, you get to work, and the first thing is you want to start sharpening those weapons. And again, whetstone in hand and a wheel, you kind of sit there, and it is. Look, it's about being precise, it's about being even, it's about getting the job done as quickly and as painlessly as possible. And you set about sharpening those swords. Again, that thought of, I don't know if I should really give these to the new recruits. This might lend to accidents. So you're not honing them to, razor thin, but you are kind of putting a bit of you're taking some of the welts and the dings out of it more than anything else. But yeah, you manage to pass the evening Sorry, you managed to pass the morning without any major incident sharpening the weapons. Byron comes out to check and picks up one or two that you haven't actually managed to fix yet. Kind of looks at them, levels the blade out a small bit. Kind of, you see him kind of look at the groove. He even licks his finger across it. Good work there now, lad. Good work. And he puts it down on the fixed pile. And Mooney, as you wander over, breakfast sort of happily sitting in your tummy, you gather up your books, the delivery from the general store, and you spy a couple of the envelopes, all open, from that were addressed to Byron and the guild, and you just with sort of a just a very like sharp little clap. On the second clap of your hands together, as you pull apart, there is just a phantasmal hand in the same size and shape of your own wrist and palm and fingers, just sort of hovering there. It kind of flits up, it looks at you, and it kind of just waves, like it does a kind of a wave at you, and it scoops up the books as you bundle the envelopes under your arm, and you head towards the library. You saunter inside, and immediately the mage hand goes to organize, and it's not. I mean, it's organizing, but it's organizing Mooney style. There is no Dewey Decimal System. It hasn't been invented yet. There's a Mooney system, which is if there's a gap and the book fits, you just jam it in. You just jam it right in there. And the mage hand goes, it's your hand, it knows what to do. So it starts to jam the books into any open spaces in the shelves. Okay, you have successfully navigated the early hours of the morning. Now begins our real mission, the opportunity here to prepare for afternoon lunch, the repairs to the yard, and snooping through these letters rather intensely. So I'm now going to ask for a second skill check, and we're going to work backwards in order. So it'll be Mooney, Anam, and then Diara. Again, you cannot use Stealth, Athletics, or Arcana. They're off the menu, and the DC this time is 16.
Oof.
So, what skill check are you going to use, Mooney, to continue your snooping?
Snipping through the letters this time, yeah?
Yes, specifically the letters.
I am going to use... Which are the ones that I can't use anymore?
You can't use Stealth, Athletics, or Arcana.
I'm going to use Investigation.
Okay.
And I'm going to investigate the letters by reading them.
Oh, solid detective work there, Detective Mooney. Anam, you are organizing the yard. It's one of the last things that you really have to do, and Byron has split it off into the fields somewhere. There's a faint smell of his willow weed tobacco kind of wafting, and you can see the odd plume of it up into the air. He's been trying to practice the art of smoke cloud portraits, but all you see are just poofs of smoke into the air. Odd colors here and there, but he's been at it 6 months and there's been no improvement. So what skill or proficiency bonus are you going to apply to your repairs?
I'm going to use intimidation. I'm going to design the scariest, most inspiring training.
Okay. I thought you were sorry. I thought you were going to try and intimidate the yard into like repairing itself.
Oh.
I'm giving you a stern look.
No, I thought it's rude. And ideally, when Byron gets back, maybe we'll give him a little scare. I would also like to use my inspiration from the last session to cancel the last.
Nifty. Okay, so you can give me an intimidation check. So, Diara, as you sort of begin to kind of ready yourself for lunch and taking care of the others, and then maybe figuring out what to do into the afternoon, what are you doing?
Is she still supposed to be tidying?
No, she's that done. No, sorry. You've done the student tidy, which is grab stuff and hide it behind other doors. So I mean, the place looks great, but I mean, you open a drawer and something's gonna fall out that shouldn't be in there. Okay.
Interesting. I don't know. She's probably lonely now. So, who would be closer, Mooney or Anam?
You know, Mooney is in the library, and Anam is out in the training yard, so they're about kind of equal distance.
Yeah. She is going to go find Mooney and just use her. I don't know.
Yeah, you can't use
No, it's
investigation.
not investigation. Perception? To see if she can find anything in the letter.
Okay, so you're kind of trying to help Mooney out a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
So all of you can give me a roll. Remember, you're looking to beat a 16.
I already rolled mine.
Okay.
17.
Ooh.
Your turn.
18!
Yay! We win D&D.
And Richard, I didn't quite get your one there. What was that?
It's 13. 13.
Okay. So we'll start with Anam. With all the fervor and inspiration needed to create like a challenging obstacle course, you are still dealing with the lack of amenities, and what you do have is old and busted. You pull out a handful of training dummies that. Well, Reggie has kind of like, you can see where he's clearly carved in like this one's Byron, this one's Eileen, this one's Mr. Sapras. Like he's affectionately named all the training dummies. They look a little worse for wear. But you've managed to kind of jury rig them a small bit to kind of like that they're standing a small bit, and then you've kind of dug into the yard a little bit. You've made a mess. Like it's definitely an obstacle. How intimidating it actually is, well, we'll have to see when the recruits get there. But Byron, as he comes back from the fields, just thruds straight through it, completely distracted by, well, anything but the obstacle course and your efforts. And he tracks Mud all the way in from the fields through the wet obstacle course and muddy pit that you've dug into the kitchen. Mooney, you are like and the mage hand is now doing that sort of thing, like where you can see it's kind of like where it's kind of like it's feigning that it's out of breath. It's like it's giving full exhausted librarian assistant realness in its performance, but it's now also just kind of flicking through a book kind of idly, doing its own thing. As you are browsing through the letters, and there's a lot of it seems to just be tidbits of information about the like contacts of Byron's. Some people asking for that loan to be repaid. News coming from Grainlawn and a venture that, again, another contact has found a new silver vein and is looking to see if by any chance Byron or his associates would be interested in investing this time, and it's underlined and in bold, guaranteed money back, sort of a thing. You do come across the request from the poultry farmers up north looking for Byron's assistance or him to send a recruit or recruits to deal with the bandits, the geese bandits. And again, there's a payment of 20 gold pieces, 25 if the geese are returned alive. So it seems to be a real job and not just, I was going to say, a wild goose chase that Byron sent the new recruits on. But yeah, there is. Oh, thank you. I'm taking it and I will be using it against you.
No.
Yeah, DM inspiration is a thing that I do. It's like a homebrew thing that I have. The players can give the DM inspiration, and I don't use it against you at all. Yes. So I have DM inspiration. I'm making a note of it.
You can't use it against Diara. That's the rule. If I give it to you, then you can't use it against me.
Okay, definitely use it against Diara. Nobody tells me what to do in my games. Homebrew Show said, I think it's in the player's handbook. Well, I never read the player's handbook, and that goes to show in all my games, Homebrew Show. But the what's the thing? Yeah, there's a couple of other bits. There's some farmers to the south who said that their animals are going missing, but they don't. This letter's a little bit different. You get a real sense of urgency off of it, but there's no information as to whether it's a bandits or a wild creature. But the farmer in particular who wrote this letter has asked Byron to maybe send someone to investigate, but there's no reward. There's no money in it.
Does Minnie recognize the farmer?
Give me a. Give me a wisdom check.
Wisdom check. Because she's from the farms. +1. Oh, 16!
You. Again, the name is familiar. You may not know Jessup Begley. But you do know of the Begley farms. They're mostly dairy farmers, but they have they have hunters and stuff amongst their ranks as well, like and woodsmen. So you've heard of them. You'd recognize the name at the bottom of the letter, but as to why Byron didn't put the recruits onto this one, more probably to do with the reward than anything else. With that, and Mooney with Diara with having kind of cleared up and sorted, and foregoing making lunch apparently, because they're all adults, they can do that themselves. You are sauntering out of the kitchen towards the library when. Out the windows, you can see a rather exasperated looking Eileen Sapras, like red in the face, puffy in the face, hauling it up the hill.
Minnie goes to meet her.
Sorry,
No!
Diara sees her. You are lost in your letters.
Oh, right, sorry, I thought we were together.
No.
I don't want to, because I know she's gonna be mad, but I've gotta go find her and help.
You can spy Mooney inside, rifling through paperwork and what looks like letters or manuscripts. Oh my god!
What is happening?
He's a wild animal.
Oh my god! It's the critter that broke in and stole the berries.
Someone's nap is over. He's full of beans.
Don't
mind me.
You head out, kind of letting Mooney to continue whatever they're doing. You head out to kind of catch Eileen, who's like, "Oh, don't be starting on me." First time in 27 years I'm late, and look at you already out the door, proud as punch, huh? Coming to take an old pop shot at Eileen Sapras, huh? Well, the one day I'm late, Dara, you think you'd cut me a little bit of slack, right? 27 years. Do you know how old I am?
I don't think I can count that high.
Show me your hands.
No. I was coming out here to help you. You always have to think the worst of me, and I'm starting to get sick of it.
Dara,
Eileen?
show me your hands.
No. Do you want me to help you or not?
Well, help me with what, huh?
I don't know. You looked like you were struggling.
Well, I ran up the hill.
All right. Do you want? And she offers her the crook of her elbow. Come on.
She reluctantly goes to take it. Well,
Now tell me what happened.
oh, there's some commotion in the village. Now, I'll go make breakfast. I assume you made an absolute hames of it.
No, we had breakfast. Everybody's stuffed, especially Byron.
What did you make?
Leftovers?
Oh, for the love of God. Wait a minute. You didn't use
What?
my potato slices, did you?
No.
And the
But Reggie might have eaten them this morning.
No. I passed Regiment earlier on this morning. He was out, and he's a good lad. He'd never lied to you. He'd never lied to me now. And he swore up and down, left and right, and sideways and backwards. He didn't even get breakfast. So I had him pop in there now, and I had Jerry's breakfast on the table, and that was ready. So I gave it to Reggie.
Okay.
So the slices are
I'm
there.
sure the potato slices are fine. Though we did see some animal tracks. Mooney thinks it might have been a sheep, but I don't think a sheep could fit through that window. So it's probably like a badger or something.
She's standing, at this point she's kind of standing in the door, a sheep. Right.
I mean, you know Mooney, like she's...
And she kind of leans
Chatting
over
away to them.
and she sees the spectral hand just kind of reading the book while Mooney is just kind of flicking through letters. Oh yeah, that's right. Less of her now in the kitchen, thank you very much.
Well, I mean, we were all kind of left to fend for ourselves, Eileen. We didn't really know what to do without you.
Ah, that's kind of you to say.
Guess what?
Apology accepted.
Byron made himself tea.
She goes to grab the back of a chair to steady herself.
It was actually pretty good tea. But if he asks, I didn't see it. And she gives her a wink.
Give me a persuasion check.
I'm good at that. Never mind. 8.
She just kind of stares at you. Right. Grant. I guess there's no need for Eileen then anymore in the old Summerkeep Guildhall. Is that what you're saying? That I'm old and retired and beyond my age, huh?
No.
No, it's Grant. I'll get my coat and leave. More going on down the village anyway.
Yeah, what do you mean? What's happening in the village?
Oh, God. You know the McCarthys. Right. Well. Padder now. Now I asked Mr. Sapras, and he swears there wasn't a drop of drink on the man's breath. But Padder now, McCarthy, out there by the bog, you know there now, the old long road, you know, just past there. Now. His father used to be the one that used to drop the mail up to the guild, you know, before the knees got at him there in the winter, and that one time that Mooney was pretending to be an Alsatian and bit him.
Eileen, the bog.
Right. So there's a big hole in the bog. Out.
But that's where the turf comes from.
Not a
no?
turf hole. Just a big hole that just appeared overnight.
Like a sink
Uh,
hole.
I reckon that now. But you know me now, and you know the menfolk around these parts. Huh? Sure, what would I be knowing about the bogs and sinkholes? Huh? Only I'd be reared in that bog half my life. But no. And tis the strange. He swears it wasn't there, and well, they've got out to have a look at it. I guess it's a bit odd. All right, it's a bit mad.
So, should we send Byron down?
Why's she going to send that ape for?
Just, you know, stand around the hole like men do.
Yeah, that. You know what? That's the one thing that this situation needs. A couple of more men standing idly round a hole, staring down into it, while one of them pokes at it with a shovel. That's what we need to be doing there now. Good thinking there, Diara. Half the village hasn't already had that idea.
Right. So then,
I went in and I had a bit of a look there. Now you know me, I don't be partaking of the old Mare Tavern. It's not my cup of tea. A bit too rowdy for my liking now. A little too much happening. Well, I just popped my head in, said hello to the twins, and I got an eyeful of Mr. McCarthy, and he wasn't looking well now. I have to say that now. He wasn't actually looking himself. He was a bit shook.
But like, it's just a hole. What's to be shook about?
Isn't this what you came here to do? Investigate? Well,
Look into holes.
I don't know.
Do we think there's something in the hole? Something made the hole?
Do I look like I know much about what's going on in the hole?
Not going to answer that. Okay. Look, I genuinely don't have anything better
Shocking.
to do, and Reggie has taken the new recruits. So I'm going to find Annam. And I'm sure Mooney will like to tag along.
Mooney,
She loves the bog.
I mean, he's just hanging out the window.
what were you doing in my kitchen?
Not much.
She's standing behind her like,
I was like looking at the wee animal prints that was in the kitchen.
Did you have another forest tea party in my pantry?
No, not in the pantry. But I swear I don't know anything about this one. I'm more, restricted to the library and that wee hole underneath the stairs and sometimes the guild hall, but not since, the big chicken crisis of last year.
Jesus, those wasn't chickens. That was a bunch of pigeons.
But no, these were like little small ones, so they were, and like they went up the wall and then into the forest and then back again. So maybe he can be back, but I'm sure he's lovely.
Take her. Dara, take her. Take her.
Where are we going?
Take her before I have to throttle her.
I'll meet you at the back. And she's going to head around the keep to where Annam is.
Right. When he closes the window and goes around the back.
Okay.
And what are you doing?
Annam's just sitting in a lump in the middle of the training field, staring into the dead eyes of a training dummy.
Who's this one supposed to be?
Byron?
Hmm.
Was too small.
Needs to be fatter.
Yeah.
We're gonna go look at a hole in a bog.
I love the
come?
bog.
I know.
I'll come. But tell me this. Do you ever feel like Byron expects us to fail?
I don't think he expects anything of us, to be perfectly honest.
It's sort of the same thing.
Yeah.
Just hook an arm around
mean-
Mooney like,
Like that.
Just like that.
I hadn't given it much thought.
let's not. A hole in a bog.
Like yesterday, he wasn't even sick, I don't think. He was just sitting in his bedroom, just laughing under the covers. Yeah, you think that's gross? You should have seen the things he was reading.
No, please. I don't need to know.
Go see the bog. I want to go throw things into it.
Okay, so
I'll pick up Byron training dummy and yes, we'll throw things in.
He high fives the mage hand.
the three of you, the Byron dummy and the mage hand, all kind of you start to kind of move down towards the front of the guild hall and down the hill when you just hear an uproar from inside as you hear Eileen just scream, "My floors, my cupboards, my pantry," and
My cabbages!
Run.
and as the three of you and the mage hand and the Byron dummy leg it down the hill, all of you also see, just out of the corner of your eye, Byron legging it into the West Fields and the woodlands beyond, as he does not wish to be at the brunt of Eileen's wrath. As I had said, when you started to see the sun rise and the clouds overhead and that greyness, it actually hasn't lifted, and neither has that coldness. It must have rained a little bit in the night because the ground is very soft underfoot. And as the three of you saunter down the road towards the village of Canuck, you do see, even with the weather, and it's the middle of the week. It's the middle of the 10-day. There isn't a market until Saturday. You catch a group of people, all sort of spilling around the doors and the windows of the Old Mere Tavern. And a few people are kind of chatting away, and you hear them. They're all talking about the bog and the hole, and that they've seen the hole, and now they're trying to have a look at Padder because everyone's talking about how bad Padder looks and how shook the man looks.
Does anyone know if Padder went into the hole, or did he see anything come out of the hole?
Are you just pop?
Yeah, like in all the rabble, like do we hear any of that?
Oh, you were specifically trying to hear that, or were you asking that?
No, I'm asking.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh crap! My job. That one thing I have to do. Yeah, you're listening, Diara, to kind of see what people are chatting about. And there's and you're trying to get a kind of an ear. People are just talking about, well, maybe now he'll finally sell the bog and the land around it, and people are kind of speculating. When you just kind of ask, you kind of pipe up over the crowd that little bit of like, did he go into it or did he see anything come out of it? And a figure turns around, and in front of you, you see Bernard Wall in his guard's uniform, with a very, very shiny brass buckle kind of pinching his cape and keeping it firm over his shoulders. He kind of spins back to you, and his hair very thin and very sort of energetic looking. His eyes kind of brighten up as he kind of sees you. Miss Diara, what's piqued a lady such as yourself's interest in the bog hole?
She's gonna visibly recoil, and then just, well, Eileen was very animated about it, so we came to see what the fuss was about.
Yeah. I so is Casper. He's also really interested in the bog hole. I didn't get a chance to go out there just yet. I was on my rounds, securing the village, making sure that everything was in order. I can escort you and Annam and
Mooney
to
Mooney.
McCarthy's Field in the bog if you wish.
Diara's kind of gonna look over her shoulder at the other two and just be like,
I just want to
Okay.
go see the hole.
yeah.
He holds his hand out like in the same way that you did to Eileen, like the kind of crook of his arm. The
The
path.
mage hand.
Ah!
Diara immediately takes off.
He's a little spooked by it, but I assume the hand just holds on. Like it's just that thing of, and it does. It kind of gives his arm a little bit of a squeeze, and he sees you, Diara, kind of like hurriedly moving towards the old long road. And he kind of quickly tries to match your pace. Annam and Mooney, is there anything you were doing in the village, or are you just following on Diara's trail?
Yep, Minnie would just been paying attention to the rabble and then following Diara soon after.
Okay.
Annam's having a very quiet but animated conversation with the the training dummy. Just thinking out loud, as if
Will you do me a favor? Will you just give me a performance check?
I'm not good at that. Let's go.
Nat 20.
Ooh. My fancy animated dice have frozen. One moment. Oh, 16.
So you are chatting to the Byron dummy, and a couple of people in the crowd have heard that Byron is here. So without kind of looking back, they are also now talking to the Byron dummy, and sort of giving out your best Byron advice or response to it. People are like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, Byron. Yeah, good lad. Oh, I always said you were an asset to the village of Canuck.
Well, what is the point of going and expecting to fail? But what is also the point of going in that you know everyone else is expecting you to fail? And sometimes you have to just accept, even if the only path is failure, it's the only path. Am I right?
People are completely and totally like that was probably like one of the most intelligent things that they've ever heard from Byron, and utterly and totally like you leave, and while they're still talking about the hole in the bog, they are kind of wondering, just like, gosh, like Byron is really and truly an asset to them and to the village of Canuck. You saunter on along the old long road, and it's a little away from the village, probably the better part of half a mile on foot. Half a mile is half a mile on foot, or whether you're on horse. But you are half a mile away, and you are walking on foot, still carrying. Is there? Yeah, I was going to ask. Is there still a buzzing sound? Because I don't know if it's coming from my mic.
A
or...
wee bit from your mic, yeah.
Oh, okay. What I might do is I might make a little bit of an adjustment to my microphone.
Not Declan having
Never
other
happens on stream. Is it still there? Like if it's is it?
Yes.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it down a little bit further. Is that still loud? Like, is that still buzzy? Can you?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I go any lower, you definitely won't hear me in terms of my feedback. Kind of like the aux cable is a little loose, but I didn't do nothing. To the aux. Okay,
It's
I
stuck
must
now.
have done something because I just touched the aux cable. So I
Hooray.
will turn up my volume a little bit more. Okay, so maybe you can hear me again a little bit better.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, without any buzzing. Sorry, I might have bumped into the mic or something like that because I talk with my hands. It's Brassica chewing on the wires. Accurate. A cat is now way louder than you, Declan. But I didn't adjust Cat's microphone. But I should be okay. I think because I did turn my volume down, and now it should be at a regular level. And for anybody who's jumping into the VOD at this point, welcome to a D8 Dungeon Twitch stream where we always have audio issues.
Yay.
Or cat-related issues. Not Cat, the player. Cat, the Casper.
How dare. Look, you hurt her feelings. Say sorry. Give her inspiration.
I'm sorry, Cat. But
It's okay.
I'm not giving you inspiration. So close, but no. Yeah, you are kind of following Diara. Bernard Wall is trying to do his best to kind of catch up, but Diara, you are just that little bit behind. He's just that little bit behind you, and you are you're speed walking effectively to kind of keep away from him. There's a small smattering of people walking towards you, Diara, that you notice first. Other villagers, other farmers from around the areas. Could you call it technical difficulties? Definitely you could, because they're always... That is a thing.
Inspiration for Dahi. How do I balance?
I
Dude.
yeah, again, a couple of villagers, and they are like, "Oh, are you go looking at the hole?
Yeah.
Oh, it's mad.
What's
Oh,
happening?
it's mad. Well, it's
What's
just a
in
big
it?
hole. It's full of this gunk.
Ew.
It's
He's
classic.
gonna, 'cause with her-
It's just odd.
What?
It's just like it's mad.
Why was Patter so freaked if it's just a big
well,
hole of
it's just a
gunk?
big hole of gunk on his land that had just appeared out of nowhere. Just let it freak any man out.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Any man, yeah.
Mooney with her -1 dexterity catches up.
Squelch. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going.
You see that there's one or two stragglers in the distance that have hopped a wall, and again do that kind of. All right, they just kind of acknowledge you, and they're chatting away to themselves about the hole. I've never seen a hole as big as that now. And what do you make of the stuff that's in it? Yeah, there's no way of getting around this episode without the use of the word hole liberally splattered around the place. So sorry.
Holes
And
everywhere.
they do. They kind of give you the nod, and they're chatting now about what they're hypotenizing and theorizing about what caused the hole, and did Patter do it for attention? Bernard kind of a little out of breath is gestured. So Dara, if you give me 1 second, and he's kind of going to lift a leg over the wall, to kind of
Yeah, no worries, it's okay. And she's gonna.
well, you just be careful there. Oh, going over there.
Can I physically just aid the man over the wall?
Oh, okay, yeah, you do. You lift him up, and he kind of gives you a look. Man, I'm just trying to.
I'm just trying though. Sorry.
He
Oh my god. No, keep going. I have to check something.
he kind of saunters up after you. It's not that too far away from the edge of and the boundary of the wall here that you come across it, Diara and Anam and Mooney, as you all start kind of in after kind of clambering over the old stone wall. Again, your feet squelch in the ground here in the bog. And again, like just pungent black water just sort of seeps around the heel of your boot and up your ankle as you kind of saunter in behind Dara and Bernard. And he is kind of reaching for you occasionally, Dara, just kind of like that, kind of like, will you be just be careful, Dara, just be careful, Dara, just be careful. And he actually grabs the back of you and he pulls you a little bit as you were trying to like dodge out of his way. You are only a foot from or a step rather, from the edge of the hole. It's about 40 meters wide. Like Eileen said, it was a hole, and it was a big hole. But I mean, you were expecting maybe. I don't know what you were expecting, but it's 40 meters wide, and there is a pungent smell coming from it, and it is filled with this black liquid.
Not the black liquid. Investigation.
Yep. You can give me an investigation check. Mooney and Anam, what are y'all doing?
Mooney, before entering into the bog, she's going to take off her shoes, put them into her little tote bag, and then gather up all of her skirts and like tie them at her waist.
Okay.
So she's not getting dirty.
Okay.
And she's not even too interested in the hole. She's just having a great time in the bog. She's looking for frogs.
Okay.
She just loves the bog.
Give me a nature check, I guess.
Nature check.
And Anam, what are you up to?
Adam is trying to look like he isn't, making sure Mooney isn't about to fall in a large hole.
Okay.
I got a 15.
Fuck Diara though,
Hey, no,
right?
he's
You can take care of
pushed
yourself.
you in. Okay, so Mooney, on your nature check, you got a
15.
okay, and Diara on your investigation check. Okay.
18.
So 15 on the.
Oh wait,
Okay.
19.
So, oh wow, okay. So it's as you are sort of just trying to make sense of it a little bit, Diara. Like you're trying to figure out maybe what caused it. Is it a sinkhole? Like, is it, did it all just kind of collapse in on itself? And what you're looking at is just sort of the remnants of the bog. Your eyes are kind of scanning the edges. If it was a sinkhole, it wouldn't be as clean as this hole has been cut. No, there is literally no way to talk about this without starting to feel weird. Yeah,
Let's go with it.
It looks to have been man-made. That this isn't natural. The other thing you notice, if it is man-made, it wasn't done by any tool or explosive or incendiary magic that you might know of or be aware of. There's no scorch marks around the edges of this.
She's going to relay this to Annam.
Oh yeah, no, but he's kind of holding the back of your cape a little bit, like the back of your cloak, and he's still kind of standing behind you. And I say holding it, he's just kind of pinched the fabric. He's just holding onto it.
Can I dunk the training dummy in to see how far down?
Okay.
Byron will look.
Okay. Two things happen at that moment. Annam,
Oh no.
you take the Byron dummy, and it's a thing over. You turn your attention from Mooney for a split second, and Mooney, you see a frog. You see the cutest teal-looking little frog you've ever seen in your entire life, and he does that thing where he kind of he hops and he lands on a sod of black bog oak, and he is just kind of looking around.
Mooney's gonna get down on her hunches.
He literally goes to kind of as you kind of dropped your hunches slowly, he kind of sees you. You are a lot bigger, and he immediately goes to hop, and when he does, Annam, at that moment you have kind of started to dip the Byron dummy into it just to see tendrils whip and lash out from the ooze, and they grab at the Byron dummy. A thinner one whips at the frog to try and snag it, but the frog is too quick. Already kind of alerted to your presence, Mooney, it had hopped away, and it managed to do so just before the tendril snatches at it and coils around it. It yanks on the Byron dummy, Annam, and it is pulling violently. You feel your whole body lurch forward. Give me a strength saving throw.
Oh my gosh.
Astro Rookie spilt water everywhere in shock at you, Richard, sacrificing your best friend. Episode 2, and we're already sacrificing our best friend.
It wasn't meant to be a sacrifice. 14.
I was just trying to get her.
Okay. It has wrapped itself around the dummy, kind of in under the piece of timber that are meant to represent the arms. It has kind of snagged itself around that and is yanked. You are dragged forward, Annam, but immediately kind of just sink your feet into the bog, finding your grip. You hold fast, and the tendril snaps back violently. Like it actually, as you pull and you find your grip, its grip on it loosens. It manages to pull the rickety helmet or the bucket that Regiment had made with it, and not so much that it's holding onto it, just that it knocks it off, and you all see it plop into the liquid and just sink, and the ground starts to shake beneath your feet.
Oh no.
Everybody give me an initiative roll
No.
as we go to break. So
Aw.
we are going to take a quick break in chat. Get up, get a stretch, go for a glass of water, bio break, whatever it might be. We will be back momentarily to see just what the guys have got themselves into. We'll
hole.
how will they get themselves out of this hole in this episode? Do not listen to Homebrew Show. Do not stretch your holes, everyone.
No, stop.
How do I
we don't
block? How do I
judge.
block Ben? How do I block Ben?
Oh, oh.
Right, we'll be back momentarily. We'll be back in 5 minutes. So ho ho ho! Get out of here.
Boke.
We will see you all in 5 minutes. What have we done?
Oh,
Yeah,
this is your
bye.
fault.
we are back. So everyone, pretend like you know what we're doing. Art
Yay.
Hatreem.
Like natural.
Smile
and wave.
Crap.
Wave. Smile and wave.
You're welcome back. I hope you had a chance to grab a snack or... Okay, for some reason... Richard's camera is fine again. I just went really weird for a second, but it's good again. We left off with the gang in a bog. Or at a hole in a bog. But not in...
In the bog down
Not
in
in
the
a valley.
valley.
Contrary to popular beliefs, not all bogs are in valleys. But having begun an investigation of it, Daira was able to kind of discern that this wasn't just a sinkhole, that there might be something a little bit more suspicious of this. And at that moment, Richard Annam, using the tried and tested scientific method of plunge a prop that you brought with you into the hole to see what happens. The
And he was so brave about it.
the ooze inside the hole seemed to react and whipped out violently, trying to drag the dummy in, and Annam, who was holding it. We cut back as the ground beneath all of your feet begins to tremble, and you see the actual the gunk, the ooze, the sludge, the slime, whatever it is inside the hole, is it's quivering. Like it seems to be actually shaking, and you start to see it sink. Like it starts to actually retreat deeper into the hole, into the darkness. And can I get everyone to give me their initiative checks?
12.
Dirty 20.
19.
Nice. Okay, 19 was for Annam, and Mooney got 12. Okay. As the three of you and Bernard are trying to figure out what's happening, Bernard is already grabbing your cloak with a little bit more fervor this time, Darren. I really think we need to get out. Like, that's not normal. Bog water doesn't,
go.
and he's pulling on you to like stop you from getting any closer. We need. Would you? Okay, I'll get help. And he turns and he starts to run.
Brilliant. Useful
And
as always.
as he turns, you just Annam, from literally half a foot from where you are wedged in the muck and the mud and the soil of the bog, just a little bit away from Daira, you in front of you, you see this large hand, four-fingered hand, just sort of erupt out of the gunk and almost anchor itself into the dirt as it starts to lift itself, and it's tearing itself away from this ooze. At first, you're not quite sure, is it flesh, is it bone, but you can see some plating as the ooze and the bog water just seems to drip away from it as it begins to emerge. And Daira and Mooney, you can both quite clearly see this from your vantage as this large being begins to emerge from the hole in the earth. What are all of you doing?
Daring.
So
In
you're
horror.
just waiting?
No. I'm going to take my crossbow and fire
Okay.
at it.
Give me an attack roll.
I haven't used a weapon in a long time. Oh my gosh. I'm going to say 20.
A 20 hits, and your damage?
1d8 plus. Whoa. Wow. 3.
Okay. You take a shot with your crossbow as you just see this large plated arm just rip itself out of the ooze and start to pull itself up out. And without kind of hesitating, Dara, you take aim and fire it. It seems you actually see the crossbow bolt break as it hits the creature's arm, as it just splits.
I'm just laughing at Die. I'm gonna say 20. I was trying to do maths. Die. Stop shaming me for my stupidity.
Again, if anybody's out there, I would like you to clip that, please, and thank you. And put it on a t-shirt. Annam, what are you doing?
So this hand that's reaching out.
Yep.
What's the distance from me to that
Yes,
hand?
it's
Quite close to me,
less.
isn't it?
I mean, it's in your space. Like it's.
Yeah. So with one hand, I'm gonna yank the trading dummy, and with the other hand, I'm gonna reach out and grab the hand coming from the bog, and then I'm gonna start to rage. And Annam is past the giant, so he just doubles in size. He just growls, his body bulges out, his face contorts, and suddenly, the ogre is standing there. And then I'm going to grapple effectively. I want to pull that thing out of the mud.
Give me an athletics check. You already have advantage on this, don't you? Because of your... Yeah. So
From
I
raging,
can't give you double advantage. But I guess what I will do is I will impose disadvantage on this creature. Because it's kind of being surprised. That's the sound the creature now makes as it's getting grappled.
So sorry.
It's canon. It's a canon sound we've established.
Oh.
Okay, that's 15 or 10. So 4. Okay, so you are looking to beat a 14. That will do. So your aim here is to not only like pin it, but also kind of yank it out of the hole as well to kind of get a better vantage on it. Correct?
Let's see what we're dealing with here, yeah. And then I'm holding it so everyone else can
wail on it.
Get their swings in.
Dara, where you saw your crossbow bolt just kind of bounce off this creature's hand, and you're not sure if it was whatever it's made of, or you hit the plate that it's using as armor around parts of it. You just see Annam kind of like in one arm kind of scooping up the helmetless training dummy of Byron, and in the other kind of throw himself down, and in one motion just his whole body erupt and just contort into this I mean, you're used to it, you've seen him do this, but it's always that little bit of you kind of wince because it has to be painful. Like the human body can't go through that and not feel some pain. And you just see the rage, this quiet sort of stillness that is unnerving kind of settle in Annam as he drops to his knees, scoops the arm and yanks, and in one motion kind of roll back, throwing his full weight as he drags this creature out of the hole. And as you roll back and I'm throwing your full weight into it, you kind of throw your legs up in the air and spin around its arm, kind of locking it in place as it hits with a heavy, fat, wet slap into the earth. You see this creature made of rotting bog oak, decaying soil, and just rocks covered in mold. And chunks of its body are covered in what is clearly meant to be a representation or form of armor. Like its face has taken on shape because of the helm that it is wearing. Its two forearms, one Dara, the one that you shot that Annam is now grappling, has kind of what would be bracers, and its lower half, its bottom half, it's not quite fully humanoid in its shape. It is where the trunk of the tree, whatever whatever bog-soaked wood this creature is composed of, or earth it is composed of. It's sort of spongy. It is wet. It is like a coil. It's almost like a snake, kind of half sitting up on itself as Annam brings it up over his head and slams it to the ground, grappling it. It is going to attempt to get out of your grapple, Annam, as it is going to struggle against you. So give me a what is the grapple? A grapple creature can escape. He uses action to escape. To do so, it must succeed. Can you give me a athletics check again? And it's going to do an athletics check against yours, and that is a 12 plus. That's 16. Okay.
26.
No.
Nice.
It's thrashing violently around as you are as you hold it in place, and a couple of times, Adam, its free hand comes down to sort of just clobber you, and where it does, it hits as you kind of spring back, still holding onto its other arm, and it slaps into the earth with a heavy thud, sort of sending bog water and muck sort of up into the air explosively.
I whip my head around to Mooney and I'm like, kill it! Kill it!
And Mooney, it is your action.
Okay, I am going to. Minnie's gonna very quickly go into your little tote bag and take out her storybook, and she's gonna flip through the pages until she gets to a story about a little boy. He finds a monkey's paw that grants wishes, and she's gonna go over to the little notes that have been handwritten into the side of the book, and she's going to recite the spell that's been written there by someone, and she's going to cast Bigby's hand, and then a spectral monkey paw is just going to form in front of her, and it's going to punch the shit out of the grappled swamp monster. Just ding it into the head.
Okay.
This lovely little monkey's. It is an attack roll.
Okay.
+8. It's cocked. 19 to hit.
And a 19 hits. Yep.
Nice. Okay, and that is clenched fist. 4d8 force damage.
Love to see a bit of 4d8 force damage.
Oh, it's okay. 15. 18.
Okay.
And that was an action. And as my bonus action, I'm going to use my Firbolg magic and turn invisible. Boop.
The Bigby's giant monkey paw spell is not concentration, is it? It's up.
It's concentration.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Firbolg magic
Yeah, 'cause
concentration?
I wonder if it's the invisibility is concentration as well.
Let me see. Firbolg magic, hidden step. It is not.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, Money, you see Annam just sort of wrestle this thing out of the earth. You've seen him do that move on Regiment a couple of times, actually. Mostly when Regiment was going back for fourths and fifths of Eileen's bread and butter pudding. But you watch as he almost effortlessly lifts this thing out and then manages to avoid the creature's thrashing and flailing with its free arm. Finding the page, the image of this spectral monkey paw just sort of, it's at the front of your mind, and then as you open your eyes, it's right there as if it was on the page in front of you, as if by magic it appeared. And it is that thing of like, oh yeah, it is magic. And immediately it just sort of flies forward, and it just sort of, it's that thing of, you see it in the same way we saw your mage hand, sort of like that sort of indecision of, wait, what am I doing? And it kind of like even rocks the creature a little bit, like kind of like, hey, stop that. And then I'm going to borrow from Bayonetta here when she summons the heel that just kind of comes down out of nowhere. It's the same thing with the monkey paw. It's like, oh, for the love of, and it just comes down with a bang, right on its head, and it just it clobbers it straight into the head, and there is dirt and muck. And at first, and it is that thing of like, because some of it splats on you. It's that thing of, oh god, what is that? Is that sewage? Is that? It's just whatever this creature is made of. It is stagnant. It is rotten. It is the tree, the soil, all of it is decomposed. There is no life in this other than whatever magic is sustaining or giving this thing its shape. And as you kind of look over with dirt in your eyes, where you see Mooney kind of like, again, kind of examining the pages, the two of you kind of lock eye contact, and without any kind of reaction, Mooney just is invisible. Mooney is just there and not there. Diarra.
Is this thing?
No, it is grappled.
Excellent. So, I have a thing called.
Diarra beats the monster that comes out of the bottom.
Yeah, this is me
Okay.
counting to 20 again. No. So, as part of my actions, I can use my bonus action to do a thing where I can use my sneak attack even if I don't have advantage. So, it's called Insightful Fighting. As a bonus action, you can make an insight check against a creature you can see that isn't incapacitated, contested by the target's deception check. If you succeed, you can use your sneak attack against the target even if you don't have advantage on the attack roll, but not if you have disadvantage, for 1 minute, or until you use this feature against a different target.
Oh.
So, can I please have
Oh, that
Exception.
thing that this creature is super skilled at. Yeah, of course. And that
Whoa.
is a straight 16. No pluses or minuses.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Wait a second. Wait. What did I say? I had to roll sneak attack.
No, insight check, didn't you?
Yeah. So I really should have done this before. My insight is good though. Oh, +8. So that's 25.
Yeah, that'll work. It's very odd, Dyer, as you're trying to get a read on this, and you're also trying to make sure that you won't hit Anim. This
Yeah.
creature kind of came out of, literally came out of nowhere, and it immediately attacked. This thing seems to have been designed, and it hasn't said anything, it hasn't done anything other than try and crush Anim. So yeah, you clearly see that the plating that it's wearing, and it's a little bit more than you first realize.
Yeah.
It is actually armor, like its helm. It is sort of affixed to the its head, or where its head would be, and again that those bracers are affixed to where its arms are, the one that Anim is grappling, and the free hand that's thrashing violently. It's even wearing sort of a chest piece of armor as well. So you can see grooves, and you can see parts where it's not fully covering him. So you have, you can take your sneak attack.
Okay. Oh, fuck me. Okay. 17 to hit.
Miss.
Fuck!
Yeah.
Never mind.
Again, it's that thing of you're trying to get a shot on it, you're trying to get a hit on it, and in that last second, just before you pull the trigger, its right arm that Anim is grappling is just, it just sort of flinches or flails, and in that moment, it's that thing of, if I pull now, I'm going to definitely shoot Anim. So you hold back, and a second later you fire, and you shoot it right into the armor plating, and the crossbow bolt breaks. Any bonus actions? Oh, that was your bonus action. Any action? Okay.
That was my bonus.
Anim, you're up.
Okay. Anon just stares this thing into what passes for its eyes, and he's like, "Get out of our swamp!" And with my bonus action, I'm going to charge the training dummy with my Path of the Giants feature, so it gains the 1d6 damage. It will. I'm assuming it counts as like a basic club.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool. So I will do thunder damage with my Byron training dummy. I will attack it recklessly twice.
Okay.
Nice.
Will an 18 hit?
An 18.
And then a
Your
17.
18 hits, your 17 misses.
Oh, that's good. Oh. So he will take 11 damage from the training dummy and a further 4 thunder damage.
Okay. Again, it's that thing, Adam, where with your free hand, your legs, and your other arm kind of wrapped around it, and Dayara and Mooney, from where you are, you can clearly see just this energy building around Anam, and just in that moment, you actually see part of the dummy crack or splinter as this magical energy just erupts through, and there is just a very, very soft, almost distant sound of thunder. And Dara, you even kind of one eye kind of looks up to the sky just to see if, like, is there a storm overhead? And with that, there is a crashing sound as Anam, you bring the Byron training dummy down on top of whatever this creature is. And the first hit connects it with kind of, it wasn't expecting it, and when the dummy hits the structure, there is just a clap of thunder that just reverberates around you, and Dara, you can even see, like, you feel it, like you feel that energy, that sort of that waft of magic as it just slams into the creature. And then as you kind of go to hit it a second time, you see that the creature actually now takes a swipe and kind of bats the dummy out of the way in that last second. Any bonus actions? Or that your bonus action was charging your 2 attacks? Okay.
Yeah.
This guy is, again, going to attempt to break your grapple. So can you give me a athletics check? That is a 23 for me.
25. I can send you the log.
I
I'm using
literally
D&D,
nope. Not at all. I really wish I put 10 of these things in against you all now. That would make me feel better about myself. No, it is struggling violently against your hold on it, and it's that thing of, it's almost like bucking. It's trying to throw you off of it rather than trying to, like, pry itself away from you. It is just trying, and you are still holding it, and you're still pinning it in place. I'm just going to see, can I attack? Well,
yes, I think the only real thing he gets from being grappled is that his speed is reduced to 0.
Okay, yeah, screw it. Because it's able to take 2 attacks. So we are... Okay. It's going to make an attack. For the love of crap, that's a nat 1.
Yes!
I hate this game. I'm having fun.
Do you not have DM inspiration?
I do!
It.
I do!
Take it! Why not? We need to give him one.
Pity.
Oh, I just feel cheap now rolling it. But I'm going to anyway. That is a 16 to hit enemy. Yes.
That hits.
Damage. Can you give me a strength saving throw as well?
Ooh.
Savage burn.
Oh no, 13.
You failed. Okay. Ooh, okay. Take 19. Oh, wait, I also have to roll the other thing. Okay. Take 13 force damage and 19 thunder damage. As you wail on it with the Byron dummy, it just it struggles to throw you off. And again, and there is this split second where you feel energy, and it's quite familiar. And just as you kind of feel it, the hand comes straight down, and it catches you right into the back, and you are knocked prone. As your grapple on the creature is lost, as it just sends you kind of flying off of it with the full force of thunder energy that sends you kind of spilling and rolling across the mucky field here in the bog. And your back actually hits a mound of earth, again soft, but you kind of feel the air in your lungs knocked out of you as the creature kind of now writhes up and is now standing there, both of its arms out in attack. And again, it is sort of positioned between, as it can see, it's positioned between Diara and you, Annam. It is Mooney, your action, and you are still invisible.
Minnie is her invisibility, I think, poofs at the start of her turn, so she's back. And once again, bonus action, Monkey Paw gonna come back down and just boop.
Okay. Give me an attack roll.
Oh, 21.
That hits.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 force damage.
Okay.
That was really shit.
I was gonna say, how many dice did you just
I
roll
know,
for
no, it was
7
like
damage?
two ones, a 2, and a 3.
Ugh.
I know, it was bad rolls. And then for my action, I'm going to, at 4th level, I'm going to go through my book. It's going to find a story about a traveling circus with a lion tamer and his magical sentient whip, and she's going to cast Tasha's mind whip
Okay.
and just whoopa.
Again, it has to make
It needs to make an intelligence saving throw, 16.
Okay. Okay, I've been rolling with these dice all evening, and they turned there towards the end, so I will hold on to them. It has a -1 to its intelligence, so that is a 5 -1 4. It fails.
Yes. So damage-wise, it takes...
I'm sure Bogwater is real smart. How dare you?
Ooh,
As someone
better.
from the bog, I'm highly intelligent.
13 psychic damage.
Okay.
And also, it takes 13 psychic damage, and it can't take a reaction until the end of its next turn. Moreover, on its next turn, it can either move, do an action, or a bonus action. It can only do one of those. So, it can move, it could do an action, or it could do a bonus action. It cannot do more than one.
Okay. Yeah. And as you are knocked back, and you kind of look up, you are kind of knocked. You're just a few inches away from Mooney as they blink back into like, oh no, I'm here. And at that same moment, you see that they have their book up, and Mooney, you see kind of Annam just a little away from your feet, a little dazed, a little winded, but your eyes are on the book, and you're like, oh yeah, wait, the monkey paw. And the monkey paw just comes out of nowhere, and just again, that when you get hit in the side of the head and they get the ear perfectly, like it's that sort of painful wrap around the side of the head that a friend would give you in school, and they didn't mean to hurt you that much, but it really hurts now. If this thing had ears, it would be really sore.
What I'm thinking of, right, you ever see the Jackass movie with the giant hand behind the door?
Yeah, we'll take that too. But it just sort of swings out of nowhere and slaps the this creature right into the head. And again, huge chunks of rock and dirt and muck are just slapped out of it. As it's almost knocked from where it's standing. And at that same moment, Mooney, as your eyes are kind of fixed on the book, you look up, and all around you there's little torches and little lamplights glowing, and you can smell the faint smell of honey mackerel popcorn, and you can hear the crowd cheering, and you hear the crack of the ringmaster's whip as you cast Tasha's mind whip, and the full lash of psychic energy just cutting out from you and just lashing at this creature. And at first you see it kind of like it doesn't seem to react, and then a split second later you see the whole thing, you see it recoil. Give me an Arcana check.
Plus 8, I think. That is an 18.
As your magic connects with it, there's only one single thought. Destroy Mooney, Diara, Annam, and Regiment.
Rude.
A thought in my head?
From it.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, or I don't know. Maybe it's your thought. Yeah, let's ponder that.
No.
Yeah, you were.
Oh, no.
Wait, is it thinking what I was thinking?
Is it like a distinct voice, or is it more like an echo of a feeling?
It's an echo of a voice, but you cannot discern whose voice or where it has come from. It is sort of this thing. As your psychic energy connects with it, there is nothing there but magic, and that magic's memory holds a voice, a command linked to the spell that holds this creature together.
Oh no.
Diara, it is your action.
How far away is
From you, about 10 feet.
if I cast a spell with a 10-foot diameter? Can I cast it in such a way that it hits it, but not
Yes.
doesn't
Yeah,
travel as
yeah.
far as Annam? Okay,
Is it shatter?
it sure is. Ooh,
Watch my monkey
yeah.
paw.
I don't know how this works. What is my spell save DC? Come on.
So
23.
It has to make
Con save? Yeah, con
against
save.
23.
How can your save be 23?
Mine's 16.
Yeah.
Hold on. Maybe I'm looking at the
8
wrong thing.
plus proficiency plus your.
Oh my
spell
god,
mod.
Dahi is right.
Yeah, it's 7.
I feel like
What?
it's 23.
Shut up. So wait, it's my spell save DC. No, my spell thing is plus 7.
That's
That's
your
your spell attack bonus.
Oh, sorry, it's
Yeah.
15.
big difference there from 23.
Soz.
I think I'm gonna have to have you play D&D next to me going forward.
There's a camera
yes,
on my
yeah.
dice at all times.
Kindly donated to us by the real Baronzaya 8. So it has to make a Constitution saving throw against your 15. Okay. 20 is definitely getting. That's definitely going on a mug for you for
Okay.
Christmas. 20. And it's
20.
a nat 20 for me.
Oh, fuck
It
off.
is a lovely nat 20 for me. So it still takes half damage from the shatter.
Correct. So 8. And for my bonus action, I'm gonna give Annam Bardic Inspiration, since he's the only one that's fucking. No, actually, Mooney did it as well. Yeah, I'll give it. Anim's next though, right?
Yes, Anna is next.
Yeah.
I just want to check something real quick.
What are you checking?
Just something with the creature.
Just while you're doing that, I have good news. You have DM inspiration still.
Hi.
How?
Attacking recklessly, you should have had advantage anyway.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Thank you. I will hang on to that.
So easy
It
to
is.
get
Thank
that.
you so much. I. Yeah, no, I was just looking up around the sense of what Shatter does and what constructs and stuff. But this thing is not a construct, so that's fine. What's your bonus action? Yeah.
Mine. Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, magical items are not affected by shatter, but magical creatures and constructs are, I think.
Do I have to? Is it a dex save for shatter?
I thought it was I just said con save, which I rolled. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So what did it take on the damage? 8, and that's the half.
8. Yeah, I
Okay.
rolled 16.
And you gave Bardic Inspiration to Anna. Apologies. Okay. So,
Anna.
yeah, Diara, it is that thing of you focus on the creature just behind, just in front of you all. And as you see the giant monkey paw just kind of clobber it to the side of the head, and you see kind of recoil. Out of the corner of your eye, you see there's just a faint little trickle of blood under Mooney's left nostril. You're not sure if it's linked to the creature's reaction and it's recoiling, but you just between your front teeth, you just blow a sharp breath, and there's a whistle sound that Anam and Mooney you both hear for a split second, and then it is gone, and you see that just behind the creature, the air seems to vibrate for a second, and then large chunks of rock and timber are just blasted off this creature, who kind of stumbles forward. And at that same moment, Diara's eyes lock on you, Anam, as as you kind of feel her energy kind of course over you, and just again you feel kind of imbued with her energy, and it is your action.
I'm just feeling really in charge at this moment, just seeing what's happening around me and this creature in front of me and my comrades battering it. I'm inspired, and in my head and in my rage and looking at this wooden creature, I can hear my father's voice telling me back when before I left home that they didn't make trees small enough for me to fell. I just grip the training dummy in both hands and I just scream, and it just with a big overhead swing, I throw the training dummy at it.
Yeah,
Reckless.
give me your attack rolls.
Uh, 17,
It
which
does.
I believe misses, so I'll use that inspiration. It's a D10.
Your bardic inspiration. I think it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
D6.
D6. Oh,
It's just a baby inspiration.
baby. So that makes a
Okay, that
22.
hits for the first one.
As the training dummy seals out of my hand, you can see that in the crack caused by the first pulse of thunder through it, I've hooked the chain from around my waist. And as the training dummy slams into the thing, I whip the chain back and it flies back into my hands. I don't even catch it. I just let it fall behind me. I grab the chain, and with one big swing, the training dummy just stops and seals back into the creature again.
Make your second
Nice.
attack roll.
Can't believe you turned the training dummy into a weapon.
That's what Byron would have wanted.
I'm not
still
dead.
alive!
I mean, Eileen will kill him, but he's alive for now.
That one's a 16.
That misses.
So it
But
misses.
your give me the damage on the first one.
So that is a 10 damage physical and a 2 damage thunder.
Um, this thing is starting to look like some of that that chest plate that was on it has fallen away. Like it's just fallen and it's thunked into the ground, and you see that large chunk of rock that seems to have been fused to has fallen with it. This whole thing is barely. It's barely holding that original sort of facade that it had, or visage when it came out of the hole in the bog. And it lumbers kind of half towards you, and Diara Mooney, you watch as just in one very swift motion, Anim has sort of hooked a chain around the training dummy and just lets it fly. And it clobbers into the creature, and parts of the training dummy have broken off. Like it's not like this thing is not sturdy. It was already barely holding itself as you wail into it with the dummy, and in that same motion as it sort of is knocked, you bring it back over your head, and the chain rattles around the group as the dummy kind of skids into the dirt and is scraped up along. And in a second motion, as it comes up over your head, it is just brought straight down, and it is smashed into bits as the creature just holds its hands up over his head as the Byron training dummy is no more. You are able to yank the chain back before it does anything. And in that moment, it lunges at you, Anim, and it is now literally in your space. It is just... and you feel there is a heat emanating off this thing. It is the hot humidity of a stagnant bog, as it's sort of, and it's there and it doesn't do anything, but you feel this immense presence from it. It took its only option because of Tasha's mind whip was movement. It wasn't in range to do anything, so it had to move up towards you. It is now in range of the three of you. Mooney.
It's in range, melee range of all of us.
Yes, yeah.
Mooney is going to take out her book and find the story about the three blind mice, and she is going to cast blindness on this little doodad, and it needs to make a con save at 16.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That is a dirty 20.
Ah, no.
It has a plus...
Monkey paw.
Okay. It has a +3 to its con save.
Haha. 21 for the monkey paw.
That hits. You could roll your damage.
1, 2, 3, 4. Better. 14 force damage for monkey paw.
Okay. It is that thing, Minnie, where you're trying to... You're like, there were mice, they were blind, and you land on a page, but it's country mouse and town mouse, and the spell doesn't quite come to it. Like the magic doesn't quite, it's not quite clear, and as you kind of struggle, and you don't know if it's because you see Anna winded, or you see the Byron dummy smashed to bits, but as the creature gets in on top of Anim, your only reaction in that moment is to drop the spell for blindness, as the magic just fades around you, and the monkey paw just comes right in behind it and just full on kind of donkey punches him right into the back of the head. And the magic just sort of dissipates around him, and the monkey paw kind of vanishes and then comes back, and it's now kind of like hovering next to you in that sort of like, I'm waiting to take my turn again, in the way like the Street Fighter characters kind of bounce back.
Oh yeah, like the...
yeah, it's doing
Is it within 5 feet of me?
The paw? Yes, it is.
No, the
thing,
bog
yes.
boy?
It is, yes, bog boy.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'll stay where I am.
Okay. Diara, it is your action.
I'm going to... so another thing I have as a bonus action is a thing called Eye for Detail. So I can use bonus action to make a perception check to spot a hidden creature, object, or make an investigation check to uncover or decipher clues. I just want to make sure this is the only one in.
Okay,
The
so you're
ooze.
kind of like you're looking at it, but you also want to kind of investigate the pool. Okay.
Yeah. So it's an investigation check in that sense. 19.
You, your eyes kind of keep an eye. You're focusing on the creature, and because it is within an arm's reach of you, but your eyes glance at the
Yeah.
pool, and you do see that some of that ooze has started to slither out, but you do not see any other constructs. It seems to be the ooze is like almost like spider webs. It is just sort of spreading outwards and soaking into the bog.
In that case, I am going to try and shatter the ooze.
Okay. So
So
you no,
Can't
it's
save.
not. It's not. It's just a thing. So you again, it's that sharp sound that just disappears as you bring it up. But you redirect the magic, and just as you feel it moving through you, and that sound, that almost inaudible, piercing, sharp note, kind of drifts out of you. You snap your fingers, and Mooney and Anam, you see the pool where the ooze was just explode as chunks of ooze and rock and muck and bog and turf and water are just sent blasts outwards. Mooney, you and the hand are covered, the closest to the edge. You are just covered, half of you. Diara and Anam, you also get some splatters on you. The ooze has stopped moving. It's Anam.
gross.
Or, yeah, that was your bonus action and your action, Diara. Yeah, sorry. Anam.
So this thing's
No, the ooze is kaput. The armored creature
Creature's
thing
still-
is still in front of you.
okay. Okay, so I am going to, as my bonus action, Mighty Impel. I grab the thing with both hands now that I'm not holding the training dummy. And with a little bit of a squat, I just fucking launch it 30 feet straight up into the air.
Okay.
It gets to make a strength saving throw, DC 17, I believe.
Okay. Um,
I love that Anim's thing is just throwing stuff
Yeah.
in the air.
Very good at it.
People, enemies, friends.
oh, God. That is a 3 plus 4, 7. So, no, it failed.
Cool. It goes sailing up into the air. And at that point, I reach into my cloak and I pull out my great axe. And I'm going to throw my great axe straight up into the air at it.
Oh my gosh.
Make your attack roll.
So as I understand right, I only have a technical 20-foot range, which means I'll make this a disadvantage recklessly for a straight
Yep.
roll.
Okay. A 15. Nope. Misses.
So when the axe comes back, I just whip around and take another shot. Oh no, 11.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Oh,
Yeah. It is that thing of
Dramatic.
like you are throwing the axe up, you catch it, and you throw it again. Do you have bardic? No, I think you spent your bardic. Yep. Neither managed to get. You threw the thing too high, and it's that thing if you can't quite get.
Out
Yeah,
of
you
my
can't
own
get quite a
range.
reach on it. But as the creature goes up, it must come down, and it does. It hits the ground with a very heavy, wet crack. As it takes 12 bludgeoning damage. It is still sort of. It lands just like a foot or two away from you and Diara Anam, and it is going to actually. Nope, can't do that. It is going to just wallop the both of you. It's going to bring its arms out and just kind of like swipe at you, Diara, and then just try and punch you, Anam. And Diara, that's a nat 20 to hit Diara.
Can I hellish rebuke on an attack?
Oh yeah, you can Hellish Rebuke. I still get to do all the damage to you, but you can Hellish Rebuke away.
Well, actually, no, you don't,
What?
because I, I have a thing, and I just found it, and now I can't
Oh
remember where I
well.
found it.
Yeah.
Where
Okay.
I can have my see. Oh fuck! What is it called?
I mean, well, does
Uncanny
okay.
dodge. When an attack that you can see hits you in an attack, you can use your reaction to half the attack's damage against you.
And Adam, does a
Do
12
your
hit?
worst.
No, that's for Adam.
No. Oh.
Yeah.
A
What
12,
was it?
yeah.
Sorry, 12?
Okay.
No, that is.
Okay, so I'll just roll the damage for Diarra. 10.
What was the roll to
Nat
hit
20.
me? That
Yeah.
was a nat 20.
25. So that's 25 force damage, Diarra. So halved is 13.
Amazing. And she's not
Wow.
dead.
Oh my god, is this a first? Is this a first?
This is the first time for everything.
Yeah, it is that thing there where you brace just a little too late, but just enough to kind of bear the brunt as you bring your hands up reflexively in your defense. It punches. You are knocked off your feet onto your ass, and you roll back, but you manage to hold yourself. Like you grab into handfuls of dirt and grass, and you rip at it to steady yourself as you catch your breath. Your arms throbbing, and you can feel the bruise already. And in that moment, Anna, as you kind of look, you are able to, you turn and you see, even from the corner of your eye, just the other arm come to swipe, and you drop very, very low. You full squat, and you kind of lean out of the way as its swipe misses you entirely. Mooney, your action.
Oh, sort of each of your turns. Is the monster currently like in melee with Annam right now?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, right beside Annam, and still within 5 feet of this ooze monster, Mooney is gonna cast Mordenkainen's Faithful Hound,
Okay.
reading a story about a wonderful, brave little blink dog that traversed the northern wildscape to find medicine for his owner back home. And so the little watchdog is going to stay beside Annam, and at the start of each of its turns, it's going to attempt to bite the bad boy.
Okay. You can. Do you want to make the roll for the blink dog, or just shall I make the roll for the blink dog?
I'll make the roll for the blink dog. I wonder,
What
does
the-
it get to make it now?
It's right at the start of its turn.
Start of your turns. So it's probably the next turn.
Next turn. Yep.
Next turn. Okay, and that is that. It is not
Concentration.
concentration, which is good. Monkey paw.
Okay. Yep. When in
When
doubt,
in doubt,
monkey paw.
paw.
Bonus action every time. That's kind of good. 17 force damage.
Yay.
Okay. So I know you just summoned a blink dog, but the paw comes in the same way you saw it take a swipe at Annam. It comes against it in the opposite side, and it backhands it, and where it does, it catches it sort of in the midriff, and with the force that it swung at Annam, and the direction in which you hit it, two parts of this thing, you hear just a very loud audible cracking of a tree trunk as this thing is twisted in half and it collapses. The rock, the muck, the stone, the wood, the soil, all of it that was bound and held inside this case.
I forgot to roll to hit. Did I roll to hit?
You did. You said you got a 17.
No, for 17 damage?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I didn't roll to hit. I got carried
Oh.
away. Oh, it wouldn't have hit. I got 11.
Oh,
it wouldn't have hit.
No, it wouldn't have hit, I'm afraid. Never mind. It's still up and about then. Diarra.
Sorry, I got
No.
excited.
Not at all. It's the monkey paw, and as it swipes, the monkey paw goes to hit it, and the full brace that it had against it, the two forces hit each other. Neither is harmed in the bash. Dara.
Can I use Hellish Rebuke as a
No, because you
reaction?
no, because you can only
after
have
the
one
fact?
reaction, and you used Uncanny Dodge.
Right. Okay, so then I'm going to just pick myself up from the grass and, inspired by the comments in chat, I'm going to say, "You fugly slut," and then cast Vicious Mockery.
I mean,
It's
okay.
a wisdom save. It's a wisdom
That's a
save of
7.
15. Excellent. And that is a 7.
Okay. It's not looking too great. And it has a disadvantage on its next attack roll, correct? Okay.
Yes.
Any bonus action?
Bardic Inspiration to Adam, just in case.
Yeah, you vexed at its attack, even though you managed to stave off the brunt of its damage, annoyed that it was able to get a hit on you. Just this rage just kind of bubbles up, and you spit the first thing that comes to mind, and for some reason you slut shame the rock monster. I've no idea why, but you do. And this, you feel that psychic energy kind of just lash out, and again, Vicious Mockery is psychic damage, isn't it? Yeah. You connect to its energy. It is magic, and it is fading. It is barely a whisper, but again, you feel the command. You hear those thoughts. Destroy Mooney, Diara, Regiment, and Anim. And Anim, you are up with your bardic inspiration. This thing is, parts of it are just falling off in front of you.
I just dig my feet in and turn my stance to the side, and with both hands on my axe, I swing as if I'm just trying to fell a tree as hard as I can.
Okay. You're making your reckless attacks again?
Of course.
Okay.
23.
The hits.
Get it.
And I'll just roll the second to hit. That's a 25, so both hit.
Nailed it.
For 14. No, wait, I'm also raging, so it gets another 3. So 17 and 19, which is
36.
I can't. 36. Yes.
It is very much akin to what you just saw Mooney try and do with the monkey paw. This thing in front of you, it is a tree, and it will fall at your hands. You kind of half turn your body against it. You let the axe kind of slip in your hands a little bit as you throw your full weight into the swing. And in the first cut, you cleave through the midriff of this tree. And it's like cutting into a tuber. Like it's cutting into a root of a soft parsnip or carrot. Like there's resistance, but it is barely there. And as you swing back, it's already falling, and you manage to bury your great axe into its chest, where that chest bit had fallen off, and you've cut this thing into 3 pieces, one of which has gone flying into the distance with just the force that you swung at it. And there's a little as the blink dog vanishes and reappears a moment later, holding just a chunk of this in its mouth. As the creature falls to weight, there is a very loud gurgling, almost like fat, thick bubble just erupting as you see the hole in the bog just like the air from underneath where you had channeled and exploded seems to have caught that thin, viscous, almost like skin, and it's forcing it up out of the hole. It explodes, like it just pops, and immediately the edges of the hole collapse in on itself, and you feel the ground beneath you all kind of give way a little bit. The blink dog kind of is just growling and barking, and then kind of trottles on over to you, Mooney. You see a small gathering of villagers off to one side, just kind of like, and Bernard is with them, and they're all just kind of staring. So you filled it in then?
Yeah, you're welcome.
Monkey Paw gives a thumbs up.
Right. Well, someone tell McCarthy the land is grant again. Right. Okay. Well, good job. And they're all like, "Well, that was the most interesting to happen here for a while. Let's go look for a hole elsewhere." And they all start looking around other fields for other holes.
You're a bunch of cultures.
Is there anything any of you wants to do at this point before we wrap?
Mooney is just going to dispel the Mordenkainen faithful watch pup and the monkey paw, and for Bolg detect magic to see if any of the magic that she had felt that she was psychically linked to, is there any
Okay.
remnants of it?
While Daira and Anim, you are kind of like, yep, that hole is definitely. You can still see it, like it's collapsed. It hasn't, like it's not. It didn't fill. It just fell in on itself. As you're kind of investigating and you're kind of looking around and you're checking each other over, any cuts or bruises or damage. Mooney, you reach out to the energy around you, and it is there. It is the last breath of magic, and you have to kind of move through some of the debris and the dirt and rocky clods of like wet soil. You find it. It is the chest piece, this, and it is metal. It is cold to the touch, but the stone that it is fused to feels warm, or at least like it used to feel. There's a little bit of radiant heat still left inside it, and you feel magic dying inside this. As you turn it in your hands, you see a symbol. It's Olam, the god of rock and earth, god of winter. It is an oak tree. It is his symbol. And as you hold the piece up, you're like, no, that doesn't make any sense. It's inverted. And the symbol fades away. And we leave it there.
Ooh.
Thank you all so much for joining us for the latest episode of Beyond Horizon's Edge, Chapter 2, The Hole in the Bog. I promise there will be no longer any holes or hole oriented combat in future episodes. If you were in chat for this, thank you so much for joining us. I was able to, out of the corner of my eye looking at the screen, have a look at some of what people were saying, and it the odd giggle and stuff like that. So thank you so much for joining us. Absolute blast. Thank you so much to Kat, Richard and Eilish for playing the wonderful Mooney, Anim and Diara and dealing with a hole in a bog. What else would you be doing as culchies in the middle of nowhere? And far more active than those men standing around with their shovels looking at it. You fight it. You fight the hole in the bog. That's what you do. Until it goes away. I'm Declan, and I've been your Dungeon Master. We are D8 Dungeon, but before I tell you a little bit more about us, I want to tell you about some new friends of ours. Mr. Dice Goblin. If you are in the mood for some dice or some TTRPG accessories, some really cute little pins and stickers, then we recommend you check out mysterydicegoblin.com, the premier D&D dice UK shop. And if you use the code D8 at checkout, you get 15% off your order, and we get a portion of the sale. So that goes to help us commission artists for new work, because pay your artists. And it goes to us buying some new equipment and just generally sort of like putting more back into what we'd like to do, which is telling stories. So, and we're all coming up to Christmas. So if there's a D&D nerd in your life, anybody wants some mystery dice, just saying. So you can check them out there. There's the link in the chat. We are D8 Dungeon, and we are a group of Irish tabletop role-playing game enthusiasts, podcasters, and streamers here on Twitch. We release a fortnightly podcast on all major podcast platforms called Romancing the Dungeon. And we are currently streaming, this is a brand new series, Beyond Horizon's Edge. But we also put out Random DMs, which just wrapped, but we have a new season starting very, very soon. So if you might want to get involved in that, drop us a message, join our Discord server, or reach out to us on social media at D8 Dungeon. Saving Grace will be returning in the new year, and I'm very, very excited for that. And Homebrew Show and I are working on something else. So that's a thing that you will have to keep an eye on. So do make sure you check us out on social media at D8 Dungeon, or drop over to our Discord server where some of the nicest folk in the internet can be found. I'm not going to keep anybody much longer. I do just want to mention very quickly some friends of the show, and we also need to get your star for this episode. Who you want to give your what was your favorite moment? So we have to take that on board. And for that, I am going to very quickly mention the wonderful team over at A Tale of D20s, Omar, Travis, and Zeki, who are in the middle of their Magpie November run as they run through the gamut of the amazing games produced by Magpie Games. So do check out A Tale of D20s on Twitch for their amazing stories and amazing roleplay. I'm not saying that because I get to roleplay with them occasionally. They are a wonderful, wonderful bunch of human beings. So do make sure you check them out on Twitch and their social media channels. Stars, everybody. So what was you? And I stole this from Omer. Eilish, what was you? Who is your star going to this episode?
Mine's going to Mooney for the high fives.
Yay!
Mooney gets
So
the one.
good.
Okay. Richard, who's your star going to?
Cat gets my star for the continued amazing descriptions of the stories that inspire mini spells.
Awesome.
Okay,
That's
right.
They're very cute.
So
two
good.
for Mooney. And Kat, who is your star going to?
My star is going to go to Annam for the absolute genius of making the dummy, bringing the dummy with them, having a conversation with the dummy, and then using the dummy in combat.
10 out of 10.
We love a dummy around these parts.
Plus, anyone who thought that was really Byron just watched Byron get exploded.
Oh my god! And we will deal with that next episode.
You know, he was made of wood.
It's a thing I can do. So with 1 for Annam and 2 for Mooney, Kat, you are taking inspiration into the next episode. So
Yay! I'll forget.
I wrote it down, don't worry.
I also wrote
yay.
it down, but I will forget where I put it, so it's there. Thank you all so much for joining us. I know this ran a little bit later than usual, but that's the joys of combat. Hopefully we will see you all very, very soon. And until the meantime, do check out other work by our wonderful team, and have a good one. Take care.